Good evening. I'm Doris Hall James from The Indie Show. The Indie Show provides a platform to showcase an artist's musical journey from the beginning of their career to the present. This evening, I bring to you Sir Dean Anthony Morrow. Hi, Dean.
Hi, Dolores. Doris, how
How
are
are
you?
you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. With the blessings of the Lord, I am fine. And you?
Yeah,
Are you good?
I'm doing great. I'm excited about your interview and
Yeah.
excited about you being here. And I just want to thank you for accepting my invite.
It's a pleasure, and thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it was a.
Thank-
You know what? I heard so much about you that I said I have to get Dean Morrow. I have to get him. And Gilbert kept saying, "Did you get Dean? Did you get Dean? Did you get?" I said, "I'm trying, Gilbert. I'm trying." I said, "I'm really trying." So
Yes,
I finally
Lord.
came and I said, "I got Dean Morrow. You got him? Yeah, I got him." So welcome aboard
Oh,
here.
It's good. It's all good. Yes,
Okay,
yes,
now
yes.
you have shared your musical gifts for over 50 years with the music world. Okay,
Yes,
how does that feel?
It feels good. It feels good just to be able to warm the hearts of people, and whether we perform in a theater, um, at a hospice, at a church, or just anywhere. It just when people respond, it's good to warm their hearts. That's I feel blessed to be able to do that.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, so now you're multi-talented. You're a singer, songwriter, and I see over 2,000 original and cover songs.
Yeah.
Were these songs published, produced?
Uh, well,
Tell me all
I,
about
I,
that.
I would think I would say maybe 1 or 2% of those songs are published.
Okay.
Um, Several covers are published. Maybe several dozen covers are published. But as far as original songs, I just published maybe 30 or 40 songs through albums. And the reason more is not published is because I just continue to write and to write. And um, it's not that I don't want to put more music out, but it takes a budget and things
Yeah,
like that.
I understand that. I
One of the things
understand.
I'm always looking for help from people who are interested in doing what I do.
Okay. Well, tell me, how did this music journey, how did it all begin? And at what age did it begin?
I think I was about 4 years old,
Talk
and
a little bit.
4 years old, and I believe I was in church and I was singing a song, and at the end of the song there was an applause, and that when applause, it's sort of like it felt warm and kind of enriched
Yeah.
me, and I said, well, somebody likes me, so so I decided to continue to do this, and I like to sing, so that's how it started, and
Okay.
of course it started in church, and I joined the church. It was out in Lansdowne, Pennsylvania, Mount Sinai Baptist Church, and I was a member of the youth choir, the youth fellowship choir, and then we gravitated to the extravaganza, young people's extravaganza choir, and then when I was 12 years old, the senior choir asked me to sing with them, so I was singing with the extravaganza choir and
The senior choir wanted you to sing with them
Right.
at 12 years
at
old?
12 years old, because I was tall. I was my same height. I grew
Okay.
early, and I had somewhat of a mature singing voice at that time. So I sang with the older folks right until I was 18 years old. So every week and weekends, and we would go out to different churches,
Wow.
and I would just sing.
And so, did you come from a musical family?
Yes,
I mean,
yes, I would say. To my stories, my journey is a little different. I was not raised by. Did not have the privilege of being. I didn't grow up with my natural brothers and sisters. At age 2, and unfortunately, I was put into a foster home, and several of them. And at age 3, I landed up at this foster place, a foster home called Webster's, Mr. and Mrs. Webster, and they raised foster kids, and I stayed with them until I was 18 years old.
oh,
So
God, that's
um,
great.
in that
That's
family,
great,
there
yeah.
was singers. Dwight is a Reverend Dwight Webster. He's a singer. Patricia Stokes is a great gospel singer. Benny Foster was a good singer. So it was at least, and my brother Victor, who was with me. So it was 4 of us out of 9 who were singers in that family.
That's great.
With my mother's family, it was 10 of us who I reunited at age 18. And at age 17, I reunited with Reggie. It was just one of those things.
Hi, Reggie.
So in that family, in my mom, Victoria Morrow's family, there's 4 of us who ended up being really good singers. And we started our own group, 4 brothers, called the Golden Chandelier. And then in my father's family, Lynn Brewer's family, out of this eight of his children, 3 of them were good singers. One in particular, her name is Shirley Brewer. She went on to sing with Stevie Wonder, and she was in his band Wonder Love for 25 years.
Really?
Shirley Brewer. And Sharon, my other sister, she was a great singer in the church. And Billy Brewer, he was a great tenor. God bless his soul. So yeah, I come from a singing family. Yeah.
But see, like, it's strange how, like, God worked that out.
Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah. There was.
I mean, He really worked that out where He put you where He
Where I
wanted
needed
you
to be. Right. Where He needed me. Where I guess I needed to be. As growing up, I went to Lansdowne Alvin High School in Lansdowne, Pennsylvania. Not too far from Philadelphia. And I really got a pretty good high school education. So it worked out for me that way.
Okay. Well, I'm supposed to be doing something. I'm so involved in the interview, I forgot to even do it. But you sang with the Golden Chandeliers, right? Now, in 1977, it was a breakup. What caused that breakup?
Well, we had been going strong. Reggie and Victor and Gilbert and myself, all around the tri-state area. We would work maybe 40 weeks out of the year, weekends out of the year, and we all had other jobs. And after 10 years, it came to Victor. Well, Victor, he was married. He got married, and so he lost interest first in continuing on. And then Brother Reggie decided to devote his life and his voice to the Lord.
Okay.
So Reggie dropped out of the secular music for a while, and that left Gilbert and myself, and so we continued on. But as far as the Golden Chandeliers or the Morrow brothers, we sort of went our separate ways for a few years. Yes. So and at 10 years, and we weren't picked up by anybody. We were interviewed by many producers.
Okay.
And many groups saw us. We would go to the shows and go backstage, and we were interviewed by Eddie Kendricks or the Spinners or different groups, and they would always refer us right back to the Philadelphia. And Reggie still has one of the prettiest tenor voices, right up there with Russell Tompkins, right up there. So maybe we sounded like something that Philadelphia already had. That's the only thing I can say. Because it was not our talent, or lack of talent. It was we were prepared for our shows. We dressed nice. Everything was going right, but we just didn't get picked up. So
just wasn't your time, I guess, because there's a time like for everything, and it just probably wasn't the time.
Wasn't the time.
But growing up, I had. Like 3 older sisters and my parents, and they always used to talk and play songs by the Ink Spots. Okay, always by the Ink Spots. And I'm looking at your resume, and it says that you were a member of the Ink Spots.
Yes, there was a story there.
How did that feel? Tell me that story.
That story. My wife Bill and I did a show with my band.
Hi. I'm introducing you. Okay.
Soul Brothers Ltd. We had an afternoon show, and so we got paid. And on the spur of the moment, I said, "Bill, let's go down to Atlantic City." And so we just went down to Atlantic City. We didn't know where we were going, and we went to the Golden Nugget. We just ended up at the Golden Nugget. And so as I was walking through the Golden Nugget, I heard this music, strange music. And I never heard that music, that type of music before. And I'm hearing this voice. And I said, Bill, let's go around and see what's going on there. And so we went around to the lounge. It was in a lounge. It was sort of like a big lounge. And see these guys, these mature men with these white suits on and red. They were
I know.
good.
I can imagine. Yeah.
I was 31 at the time.
I know.
I was 31.
Mature men.
They were mature men because Billy Bird was he joined the Ink Spots in 1946. He was the first bass replacement when Orville Hoppe died on stage. So Billy was I would say he's the original as you're gonna get, and he sang bass, played guitar, tap dance, did jokes, and sang baritone. Showman. He was a showman. So we watched him. After the first show, I said, "Do you mind if I tape you guys?" I went out, got my tape recorder, and just put the tape there. And then after the second show, I said, "Do you mind if I sing something?" I got up my nerve, and he said, "Let me sing something." I sang Misty. And then a week later, I got a call from Jolly Joyce Booking Agency. Jolly,
Yeah.
Dean Henderson, she was working there, and she was one who called me. That's when I met Dean. But she called and said that Billy Bird was there, and he wanted to see me. So I went down to Jolly Joyce, and Billy, he said, "Look, I want you to learn the tenor parts." So, like I'm basically a background singer or singer. I do arrangements. When he said learn the tenor part, I'm saying he wants me to do the first tenor. And I wasn't even thinking because Jimmy Milner had that lead. He was the lead singer of the Ink Spots then at that time. So I took the album and the songs he wanted me to learn. I learned the first tenor part, the background. I thought I was learning what he wanted because I thought I was going to be a member of the group, just a background member. So when he called me back 2 weeks later, he said, "Let me see what you got." So I'm doing all the oohs and ahs. I said, "No, I want you to be the lead tenor."
Yeah.
He was the lead tenor, and he said, "Look at a week. We have like 8 or 9 days, So I said, "Well, I'll learn them, I said, if I have to, I'll have an easel with all the lyrics will be there. If I have to, but I wanted this job, So, and that's what I did, and I kind of like learned the songs right on the road, But he really wanted me, and so we had a great time. Billy Bird and his wife and the band. They were I was the young singer out of the band, and many of them were in their 50s. Billy was already in his 70s, and some in his 60s. They were a mature band, and jazz. The opening, they would open up with the band played jazz, and the thing is that the saxophone player had a degree in music composition, and the keyboard player played the sax. So he played. So they switched their instruments with Billy Bird. And I didn't know that till later because they played their second instrument better. And so
one was Bird and the other was Quincy.
they were great. And the last show I had with the Ink Spots was December 31st, 1990. And I still remember Billy, he jumping up on the chairs and tap dancing. He was doing his thing. And those back in those days, he learned everything. Billy learned everything. And he learned full.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, and I just sponged off of him as much as I can. But he died like January 9th. 1991.
Yeah.
And,
from what you were saying, you were in the middle of doo-wop. So were you out there on the corner?
Yes.
Doo-wopping?
Yes. In fact, that's the story.
How many brothers was out there doo-wopping? Oh yeah.
all of us at some point.
At some point.
Yes.
In fact, what really got me to do R&B music, the doo-wop music, I was 12 years old, 62, and my mom sent me to the store. It was about 8 o'clock at night to get a loaf of bread, and a couple blocks away, and there was a doo-wop group. They were about 18, 19, 20. I wasn't even supposed to be. I'm not even in their league. I'm supposed to be getting bread going home. So they said, "Young boy, come over here, right?" And they said, "Look, we want you to sing this note. And you don't have to change it. Just sing it every time. Just sing the note, right?" And what I said, okay, I could do that. And when they sang with all that harmony, it was basses below me and tenors above me. I was freaked out. It freaked me out. And the next day I formed this group called Space and His Angels with my guys, because we started doing the same stuff. So that's basically the R&B, how I started with the doo-wop on the corner, and that's how that started. It was doo-wop. It all starts with doo-wop. So The Wind, I remember a song called The Wind by the Diablos. That was the first doo-wop song I ever sang. So
isn't that something?
It led to everything. And as a teenager, with Spacer's Angels, and I joined a group called the Camaros with Larry Jackson, and some of the other guys. Some have passed on now, but that's how I honed and I would sing. They would call me the walking jukebox. I knew all the songs,
And then
I knew all the lyrics. I knew all the songs.
Just fit right in. They say sing something and you got it, and
you just do it.
Yeah,
you just do it. So that's that story. It was Ink Spots was a great time. It was a great time. So.
Okay, well let's take a minute and say hi to our Facebook family. Okay, Dean, I can't see.
Yeah,
I can't
okay.
see them.
Matt
Okay,
Green. Hey, Matt.
Green, yeah.
Hey, Matt. All right. Okay, Brad says hi, Reggie.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Matt Green.
Guitar player.
And
Doug Lyons. Oh, not Doug Lyons. Great. He's a great
Yeah.
keyboard player and singer. He's got his DL band. He's got a band and he's got some great artists in that
he has
band.
a new band,
Played for
doesn't
us
he?
a
New band.
Yeah,
Doug
he
Lyons. Watch out for him. Watch out for him.
Okay.
Oh, my cousin Nadine
Nadine
Drayton,
Hi,
Reg, our
cousin
cousin.
Dean.
Okay.
Nadine. My son Dean Jr. That's Michael Trapson.
Hi, Michael.
Yeah, Michael Trapson. If nobody, go to YouTube and check out Michael Trapson.
We're gonna check you out, Michael.
Okay, and okay, Carlos Rainey, Carlos the Bond. Okay.
That's Carlos.
Okay. Okay. Renee. Hi, Renee. Congratulations, Renee, on your PhD.
Oh, that's really
amazing.
great.
Amazing.
Yes,
Kid.
awesome.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Now let me see. The king of the bass voice, Big Dean. And then he says, "What's up, Reggie? They miss you at Top Shelf." We find out all kinds of things here, right?
They have open mic there on Wednesday.
I know.
I went there once
Yeah.
to sing with Carlos.
Carlos, yeah. Yeah, we got to go over there, Reg, to support Carlos.
Bring Dean. He'll kill it down there with his group too. He says,
Oh, yes.
"You bring his group."
Oh, yes. Yes.
Great show, Doris. Amazing story. Well, we thank you all for joining in. We have an amazing person here, so it has to be an amazing story. And we would just want to take a minute to introduce Reggie Morrow. He's here. And we have a very special person, Belle Morrow, Dean's wife. The whole family's here. And we just want to say hello to them.
Oh, no. Okay. All right.
Welcome, guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
You don't see me, but
I'm hearing a whole lot of stuff about you, so we have to hear you sing, right?
Okay, all right.
Okay. And I want to say thanks to our sponsor, Ellie's Closet Boutique. They're located on 247 South 60th Street in Philadelphia, PA. And ladies, she has the best clothing, stylish clothing that you ever want to see. And it's all sizes. It's small sizes, it's large sizes. It's really a nice shop to just go in. And it's not expensive. She makes you feel home. So if you're in the area or if you want something different to wear, that's Ellie's at 247 South 60th Street in Philadelphia. Her number is 215-528, 215-528-5761. Okay, thank you, Ellie. Now we're going to get back to our interview.
All right.
Okay, so while Reggie's here, he's not on camera, but can I ask him a question?
Sure.
Gilbert, can I ask Reggie a question?
Sure, hold.
Okay, because he's right here. I just want to ask
He's
him.
right there.
Okay,
I'm not far.
okay.
Reggie, right there, right?
Now Reggie, when
We're gonna do it like this. Get a little closer.
Okay.
okay, can you get Reggie in here? Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Let me see.
Now, he's here, right? Can we see Reggie? Just a little bit. He's
There
gonna
we
make
go.
us
There we
see.
go.
Okay. Now, Reggie, how
Everybody,
long?
this is Reggie.
Reggie Morrow is
That's
here
my
with us.
shot.
Hey, Bell. Good seeing you, Bell.
What's up, Reg?
Brother Dean,
Yeah.
good to see you, man.
How long have you guys been together?
Well,
50 years.
yeah,
50 years?
Yeah, we've been
51.
together 50 years, and it's interesting.
52
Dean
years.
told the story about living in Yaden, with his foster parents. Well, I was the oldest living with my parents, and I had 4 sisters and 1 brother under me. So I was like more or less the big
Man
dog
in
in
the
the
house.
house.
The
I was
man in the
man.
house.
I was
Okay.
the man in the house, and I took care of them so long. But when I met up with Dean and Victor again, I was going to Overbrook High School at the time, and the group that I was with, we sponsored a bus ride out to actually it was
Swim Club.
Nile Swim Club. So
Okay,
we
that's
all
in
went
Yaden.
Yaden. So but that was the suburbs, and it was a big thing going to the Nile swimming pool to go swimming.
Right.
So back
Yeah.
then, we used to have social clubs, and one of my best friends, his name is Tommy Charles. We dressed alike because we used to cha-cha together,
Oh,
and we
man, I
would
wish I
challenge
was there to do that
groups.
cha-cha.
We used to challenge groups of guys, and then the girls would dance with us. We were
Yeah.
the bomb. But we walked into the Nile swimming pool with no intention on swimming. Our intention was to go in there and talk to the girls. And we were dressed in lime green shoes, pants, and knit shirt. And when we
see your
walked in
face.
there, everybody turned around and was looking at us. So here
Guess
comes
so.
so we just strolled on through the Nile, like we owned the place. And here comes this guy walking towards me, looking just like me. And Tommy, my buddy, he said, "Hey, Reg, this guy looks just like you." And I was shocked. And I was like, "Oh my God, this has to be my brother." Because I had dreams of meeting up with my brothers one day.
Isn't that something?
And I always wanted to be with them, but life as it was at the time
Yeah.
didn't afford us that opportunity. So when I ran into I said, "Dean?" And he said, "No, it's Victor." So we got together. I said, "Where's Dean?" And he said, "Dean is off somewhere singing with the church." I said, "Oh my God." So we waited and waited for Dean, and then the bus had to leave. I said, "Y'all go ahead. Me and Tommy will make our way back." And as a result, Dean finally came back to the city, and he was running down the street. I could still picture him because he heard that I was in town.
And I said, "Where'd you go? Which way did you go?
Which way they
Right
go?"
up that way.
And as a result, when we met up with one another, we just embraced, And I said to Dean, I said, "So you sang with a church?" And he said, "Yeah." And then Dean said, "Wait a minute.
Sing?
Do you sing?" I said, "Yeah, I sing."
Yeah.
So he asked me, he said, "Well, sing a song." So this song just came out of my head,
Go on.
and it went, "Go on, girl, go on,
Yeah.
go on, if you want to." But anyway, we did that, and Dean and Victor came in right on the harmony. It was a little different from what Dean did then, because when we started, so go on,
I was
go
right.
on.
We used to do that.
That's how it went. Go on. And they had perfect harmony, and then it was like we were together all our life.
Right.
It was like we
right
never
there.
missed a step.
So but from that point, you didn't know where each other
No, we
were?
didn't know.
No,
we
You
we
didn't
know.
know where.
No, the
I didn't know.
Women's Christian Alliance would not let my mom know where we were. So we didn't know where you were. You didn't know where we were.
Right. Well,
Okay.
no, I didn't know where you guys
not
were.
at that point.
Yeah, at that point, I
At
didn't
that
know where you
point.
were. I knew you were somewhere. You
Right,
know,
right,
I knew
right.
you was somewhere because my dad used to come
Right.
and take me out to Yaden. Well, I was real young. I had no idea where I was going. You know, so I didn't. I had no memory of where Yaden was, and if so, I would have put together
that something?
I would have put together a bus trip way
Right,
before
way before
I
then,
did.
right, right.
Mm.
So
You
that
know,
was,
so that's
And
how,
that's God joined that.
right. And
Together.
we right there we
Just
said
like
we're going
that.
to form a group.
right there.
You know,
Yeah.
so I had a year to go in high school before I could, like leave. So I did the year, and then left in '68, and then we just started shedding
Went
and
from-
went
from
and
there.
performing. So, that's how it does.
Well, that's
Yeah.
a great story.
Yeah, thank you so much. And it was a great part of my life. You know, it opened up everything because I was pretty much a loner. And I mean I had a lot of friends. I had a lot of cats that respect me, but I pretty much kept to myself, and that's
Yeah.
even till this day I'm somewhat like that. But I'm a little bit better because music has a tendency to take you into a more personable
You can sing.
realm.
Yeah.
He's just as good as Russell.
Yeah.
Those guys, those tenors out there.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's a great tenor.
Yeah,
A great tenor.
yeah. So
And so you both of you have solo careers,
Yes.
yes, yeah.
and then you come together as the Morrow brothers.
We come together as the Morrow
Yes,
Brothers.
we
and,
do.
And a lot of times people they want to hear the Golden Chandelier, which that was our old name,
that
the
yeah,
Golden
that was the name.
Chandelier. So, but those days are over. So, but we call ourselves the Morrow Brothers because we not only sing secular music, we sing and the oldies we call it.
Oldies.
And we don't sing boogie down, shake your booty, all that kind of music. We
Love
sing
songs.
good love songs,
Yes.
songs that
Yes.
pierce the heart, songs that are emotional, provoking. And then we also sing gospel music.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, how did you feel, Dean, when you performed with the Temptations, the Shy Lights, Manhattans, and
Well, to me it was like a privilege to be even on that level. Again, we started off with Philly Intruders, and then became Philly's Intruders, and then got picked up by Universal Attractions to open up for Temptations or the Stylistics.
well,
or
let's
the-
let's go into Philly Intruders 1st. Tell us about that.
Well, Philly's Intruders.
Okay.
Again, we got an opportunity. I got an opportunity. Irvin Mears, who was the manager of the Philly Intruders, he was looking for two voices, a second tenor and a baritone. And Gilbert and I, we said, let's go for it. We had my brother. I had told, I had told my mom when Gilbert was 15 that if she allowed him to join us
Okay.
in '72, that I would take care of him.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and so here we are with 2019. We're still taking care of my brother. But we went and we auditioned for Irvin Mears' Philly Intruders and got that job. So, and we rehearsed for like 4 months to get the show, to get what we wanted to do, very tight and polished. And again, Universal Attractions, they would have these 70s soul jams in different cities. And so Urban Mears, I guess, he joined that. And so whoever was performing, we would either open up and move our way up. There was one opportunity. We were in 6 cities. We started off as the opener, and then the second city we were the opener. Third city, we were 4 out of 6. So 2 people went on before us, and then the fourth city, we moved up again, and where the group called the Dramatics, they opened for us. So which means that people were talking about it. So.
The Dramatics open for y'all?
Yeah, in the fourth city,
Dramatics.
but the fifth and sixth city, the Dramatics, whatever they were doing, they stopped doing it because they were on their A game. The Dramatics, they were on their A game.
Yes.
The fifth and the sixth city, because Stylists was they were all the headliners, and the Chai Lights were they were also on that, along with the Delphonics, the Persuaders, Intruders. There's one other group.
Manhattans.
Manhattan.
Maybe not then, not on that one, not on that one, but
Okay.
you know, but it was a nice tour. It was a nice tour. You learned a lot, you know. But and later, Marshall Tompkins called me, and we worked with him for 2 years. You know, we would open up for the Chai Lights, Marshall Tompkins Chai Lights, and that was fine. That was good times too. And Ollie Woodson and various artists. Bless Ollie. Yeah, that's
How many groups did you just name to be in one show?
Right.
It was like the Uptown. They used to have all those
They-
groups at the
yeah,
Uptown
right.
Theater, right?
Yeah.
They used to have a whole bunch
Yeah,
of groups up there.
We go there.
Nowadays it's like 1 or 2 groups.
Yeah.
Yeah, one or
Right.
two.
Right.
And they have probably a solo opening act.
Yeah.
And thing. But then they had, I mean, that was, you know, you had these groups that
Yeah,
they
we
were.
put as many groups as possible on those shows.
On those
Yeah,
shows.
right.
And try to bring as many people.
Right, there's many
Yeah.
people. Yes.
But now I think nostalgia is so big and it's so large that they don't have to do that anymore because so many people, they know about the Shy Lights, they know about the
Temptations
Intruders, the
and that.
Temptations,
Temptations,
and they
yes.
just want to come out and see them, even if they know all the Temptations except for Paul Williams are dead. Is dead.
yeah,
Otis Williams. I'm
Otis
sorry,
Williams.
Otis Williams is
Passed
dead.
on.
They know that whoever's going to do the Temptations is going to do a good
And they
job.
want to hear those songs.
They want to hear those songs.
Yeah.
They
You
want to
gotta
hear
bring
those
'em.
songs and
Yes.
see those steps and the movement and all that.
Yes.
Yes.
In fact, we're doing Temptations tribute Saturday in somewhere in
Baltimore.
Maryland, near Baltimore. So people want to hear those Temptation sounds.
They
So
wanna
that's what
hear
we're
it.
doing.
They
You
want
know,
to hear.
Temptations.
You want to put a plug in there? Where in Baltimore?
See, I gotta write this down here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's,
Give us a second.
Yeah, it's going to be it's Temptation tributes with
I
with
can't
the.
hear you, man. What's
Oh yeah, it's going to be Temptations tributes with the Supremes Review.
Oh, Supremes too, huh?
Review,
Okay.
at the La Quinta Inn and Suites. It's going to be 6323 Ritchie Highway in
Ritchie
Glen
Highway.
Burnie, Maryland.
And Bernie.
Yes.
Doors
Yeah,
open
I did.
4:30
Okay.
p.m. Dinner at 5:30.
Yeah.
It's a black tie formal affair. Tickets are $75, and the telephone
okay.
number I can give out if anyone's interested. Rick Coley, 302-290-8257 for tickets, and it's a black tie formal.
Okay, sounds good.
Now, just for another quick
That
plug,
sounds
on Sunday morning at Sharon Baptist,
Anyway,
we're
so you can get them.
You
at
get your plug ready.
okay, at Sharon Baptist on Sunday morning, we're having Unity Day, and I sing with the praise and worship team, and we also are going to have what you call the combined choir. So all the choirs at Sharon Baptist is going to be singing. It's only one service. It starts at
He
9:30.
knows Andre.
Yeah.
You know Andre?
Yeah, no, Andre.
Okay.
Yeah, King Bird. That's my buddy.
Okay.
We stand next to each other when we sing. You know, 'cause
Right.
we have that old school feel. Because Bird was in the neighborhood. He was around this neighborhood. We lived at
Yeah.
59th
Street.
Yeah, 59th and Catherine.
That's
So
where we're from.
Bird used to come around. See, when my brothers and I, when we all moved over to Catherine Street, it was like a hub for music because we always had our speakers out in the yard and we would be out there harmonizing. So anybody that had any inspiration of singing, they
came
to the backyard.
and Bird, King Bird was one of them. Plus, we both retired from the railroad together too. You know, yeah, he retired.
Well, tell him we said hi.
I
I
said
don't
we will.
see him as much now because I don't go to the gym on City Line Avenue.
Oh, okay.
I go to the one in Springfield. So
Gotcha.
he goes to City Line Avenue.
Okay.
So tell him
All
Bill
right.
and I said hi.
I will, no doubt, no
Okay.
doubt. I'll see him first thing Sunday morning. You know.
Tell Deacon Mike Brown hi.
Yeah, I'll see. Yeah. Y'all just need to come on down there and tell them yourself.
Yeah, how about that?
Y'all know so many people.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh
We
yeah.
would love to have you. We would love to have everyone in the listening audience. You know, Sharon Baptist,
Yeah.
one service this particular Sunday, and it's going to be off the chain.
Okay.
Off the chain.
Okay.
Yours truly will be singing with, two groups.
Yeah. Showing off.
Yeah, too.
Well, I'll be showing off for the Lord.
I know, and that's good. That's a good
Yes,
thing, right?
yes.
Now, Belle, I know you're sitting over there, but I want to ask you,
Okay.
how did you deal with Dean's career? I mean, how did you?
I
Do
love
it.
it. I think it's wonderful. I wish I could sing. I
Okay.
can't. So I think I'm impressed, that actually when I met him, he would have, his little apartment, and he would play his tapes, and he wasn't singing. I was hearing this guy, and he had this really high tenor, and he said, "That's
Sing it
me."
all.
And Dean talks like this, so
That's me. That's me.
So I'm thinking, and I knew he liked me, so I'm going like, gosh, to my mind, I'm going like, man, you don't have to do all that. You don't impress me. I like you too. You're a nice person, And then one day, a few months later,
Right.
he actually takes up the mic and starts singing to his own self. I was done. I couldn't believe it, But I've always supported it. I think it's wonderful. It makes him happy. If he's happy, I'm happy. I mean, he's wonderful husband, provider, good father, good family man.
Isn't that great?
So
Yes,
I mean, I
it
think
is.
that's his escape from anything that bad that happens. Goes right into that studio and it all goes away,
Yeah.
just like that. So
And that's true.
that's great for me too.
That's true.
That's right.
And it's so important to be a support system.
Right.
Because many times, or sometimes, either the wife doesn't understand, or
Yeah.
You're right.
the husband doesn't understand. And if music is your passion, don't make them choose between
Right.
you and music.
Right.
Right.
That
Yeah.
kind of
Gonna
stuff,
happen.
right?
That don't happen with her.
That's his
She
other
is so
woman.
supportive.
I can live with that.
Yeah.
Here I'm going.
Right. No, but that's good. You're blessed to choose to have the right partner.
Yeah.
Supports me, takes care of me, and whatever I do, she supports me. And
She
That's
does.
great.
and she had her own career. She was a pharmacist. She has a degree in pharmaceutical medicine, but she changed her career. She came into the career my other career, and did very well in that for 27 years or something like that. No?
26, yeah.
Did very well.
Congratulations
Well,
to
thank
you.
you very much.
And she was not just a regular worker. She was a DA. She was a
Assistant
supervisor.
DA.
Yeah,
Assistant
deputy
DA.
administrator.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
major when you're dealing with
Yes.
A lot of people.
a lot of people that need help.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Now, with the guiding lights, let's talk a little bit about the guiding lights, the gospel quintet.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, the Guiding Lights. Around 2012, I think, maybe 13. In fact, my brother Reggie was singing with them, and one of the guys in the group mentioned that they could use a bass, and so Reggie called me, and Jimmy, one of the guys in the group, called me, and I was free. I was Morrow Miles. We weren't doing too much, live performing, although we would continue to write songs. So I decided to audition for the Guiding Lights, and just the one.
And at first, he said, "Reggie, no, I can't, because I'm doing too much right now." And he had his hands full, and I said, "Dean, this is for you. You're gonna like this sound." At first, I didn't know what to expect, and I said, "We really need you." And he came to the rehearsal, with the thought in mind that he wasn't going to join another group.
So you were already there.
I was already there.
Okay.
I had been there for about 6 months.
Okay.
And as a result, I said, "Dean, just come. Don't make no commitments. Just come for me." So he came. And when he heard what was going down, he said, "I like this." So he's been fully committed since.
Okay, and there you are. They're on right now.
Oh.
Okay.
That's Gabriel.
Gabriel, yeah, that's Gabriel.
He's
Now,
one of the
what?
leaders.
Okay, he's one of the leaders of
Yeah,
the Guiding Lights,
yes,
right?
he's the co-founder of the Guiding Lights. Edward Gabriel, but he calls himself
Is
Gabriel.
that two different groups?
No, the Guiding Lights.
That's-
Gabriel is a person. He calls himself first and last name,
Okay.
but it's really his name is Edward Gabriel, and he is the
Wow,
co-founder of the Guiding Lights Gospel Quintet.
Okay. And then it's Ernie B and the New Blend.
That's a totally different group.
Okay.
Now we in fact, when Reggie was no longer able to be with us, Ernie Bryant, a tenor, took his took his place. It's
Another
another
sermon
story.
for another
It's
Sunday.
another Sunday. Right. It'll be a service. But Ernie Bryant replaced Reggie, and Ernie Bryant was a singer in the Stylistics. He was a singer in the Perfect Blend a cappella group. And
Elliot.
so, yes,
Elliot Jenkins.
right, Elliot Jenkins.
Okay.
In fact,
know
you
your
know,
history.
I took Elliot's place.
Okay.
I took Elliot's
Let's
place.
go
And,
there.
yes,
Okay.
yes. So Ernie joined. He had his group. So
Was Van part of that too?
Yes,
yeah,
he
Van
was.
was part of it
Yes,
too.
he
Yeah,
was.
yeah. That was the Perfect Blend. That was
Yeah.
Van. That was Van was in the Perfect Blend. Before he went off with the Stylistics.
Before it became legendary.
Yeah, pretty legendary. Very good, legendary. But yeah. And so Ernie being the blend is a doo-wop a cappella group. Now
Okay.
I go right back to where I started from,
Okay.
to my roots. And so we do doo-wop a cappella with Ernie B and the new blend. And it's the same fellas. Our gospel ministry is called the Guiding Lights Gospel Quintet. So it's really the same guys, but we have two different groups. If it's R&B, we're Ernie B and a new blend. If it's gospel, we're the Guiding Lights Gospel Quintet.
Now, how did you do all this? Did you suffer from anxiety at all?
He don't even take a lunch break. You know? He goes from one thing to another, or the given entertainment day. You know, but Dean loves
Well,
his
you know,
music.
everyone gets nervous at a time because sometimes these shows run in together. You know, and which one am I going to do? You know, so that's the only anxiety. But the fact of being able to
Okay.
sing and to ask to be a part of a group, it's nice. It's nice and
rewarding.
it's rewarding, and I'm doing what I want to do.
Yes.
Yeah, and doing
And
what
that's-
I want to do, and I don't have to. You don't have to go out there and do these shows because you have to, pay a bill or whatever.
Right.
Right.
You know.
Isn't that great to
That's
do
right,
that?
that's
You
right.
do what you want to do, and you
Yeah.
don't have to depend on.
Right.
You know,
You
that's
don't have to
just
depend
great,
on
right?
anything.
Yes,
You don't
it's
have to depend.
wonderful.
It's wonderful.
I mean, I love retirement life
Right.
because it's almost like I got a new life. You know?
Right.
Yes,
That's right.
yes.
That's
I'm going
right.
back to
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Right, you
going
wanna
right
do
back
it.
to what I
That's
did
right, that's
when I
right.
was when my mama was taking care of me.
Right.
Now, the fact that I'm retired, my wife and I, we do well,
Right,
financially, and so I could just do what I really love to do, and that's sing.
I see.
And a lot of people don't
I love
understand that.
retirement, but,
No, I
I
love
need
that.
to get rid of that honey-do list.
That's gonna be there, my friend. Trust
Yeah,
me.
that never stops.
Yeah, that never stops.
Yeah.
I got one this long, right, Renee?
It's carrying you, it's all on your shoulders.
Right. So listen, I carried it like this, man.
Oh yeah, how do you do
Go
this?
ahead.
But you know that you made a good point. A retirement is like a new life. You know,
Yes.
because I know so many things I wanted to do that I couldn't do because I had a full-time job,
That's right. Yes.
and I had to work that job. But when I retired, I think I'm doing everything that I wanted
Want
to
to do?
do.
Yes.
Everything that I wanted to do.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm
That's-
doing it.
mhm.
Yes.
And I'm just like, my day is like driven. You know,
Yes,
it's
yes.
from
Yeah.
4,
Cool.
5 o'clock in the
Yes.
morning till I
10,
stop.
11 at night.
Driven.
But I enjoy it because
Right.
I'm doing what I want
You're
to do.
doing what you want to do.
Absolutely.
It's
Right.
like that they've already, bunny.
The
Oh
bunny,
yeah. Oh, I can imagine.
Oh,
You
yeah.
gotta be, right?
You got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
She
good.
came in here just putting stuff together, honey. Let's do this. Come on, let's do this. Let's get this. Look, and this is great. This is
Yes.
beautiful
It
studio.
works. It
Everything.
works. It's really nice.
Everything's in order.
But now before we go into, I wanna touch a little bit about your professional career because that's important to me and some of the Facebook fans out there.
Yes.
Because
yeah.
although we have our singing career and our music career, it's always another side of us.
Yes.
Okay, like mom and dad, you always say, you want to sing, we don't want you to do it, but you do it, but you have to have another way to make ends
That's
meet.
right.
You gotta eat.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
In case that doesn't work.
In case it does, right. In case it
Okay.
does work.
So let's talk a little bit about, well, first let me say hi to Facebook again, because I
Okay.
think this is for you here.
Charles Lewis.
This is
That's Carlos again.
Charles Lewis.
Charles Lewis. Yes. Charles
Start
Lewis.
from.
Hey, Charles Lewis. He was our manager of the Golden Chandelier.
Yeah.
He was your manager?
He was our manager for that period of time from when we started.
What is he doing now?
He does. He's an accountant.
Oh, okay.
He's a and he has his own group called Charm. They've been together for 45 years.
Oh, and they
He's a-
perform?
Yes, they perform.
And guess
they
what?
perform.
I sang with him.
Yeah,
I'm
Reggie,
the first
sing with
tenor.
them?
Reggie's the first tenor. Yeah. He sang whatever,
He's
you
all
know.
over the place.
I mean, Charm he might perform maybe 2 or 3 times
He's
a year.
Jamaican, man.
Yeah,
He's
I
called
know,
Reggie
man.
Jones.
Listen, I told you I like to sing. Give me the music, man.
And Jessica Lorraine Stanley, that's my cousin. Hi, Jessica. My
Jessica.
sister Sandy, I'm here. Okay. And Jessica said, I love the intruders.
Thanks,
And
Jessica.
Charles, go ahead. What's
Charles.
up, Dean and Reggie
Hey,
and little
Charles.
Doris? Hi,
All
Charles.
right. All right. Charm.
Now this is for you.
Carlos Rainey.
Can you see that? Hi,
Hey,
Dean. Do you
and
and
Reggie.
Reggie? Go ahead.
Remember when I used to come over to your house and jam with y'all at 59th and Catherine Street? At the time, you guys were called the Golden Chandelier, one of the top singing groups in Philly in the 70s. Hello, Pat and Reggie. I'll be at, I guess he's going to be at.
Oh my God! Look at all this
Oh
stuff.
my goodness!
Listen.
Yeah, by the
Listen.
time our time's gonna be up, by the time we finish reading it. So we'll read it when we finish.
Right.
It. But
Okay, we got it,
Carlos, we
Carlos.
love you, Carlos.
Carlos, you can write a book on a dime in a
Yeah.
heartbeat.
Carlos, okay, Carlos.
Went to the
Give us
Uptown
your hat.
Theater.
I know.
Yes.
We went to the
Quite welcome to
Uptown
have it.
Theater. Finally fixing
Hello.
the Dean's group should be on the Bill Dean. You make a great DJ,
Oh well, thanks, Carlos.
and then you have
Jim,
Gregory.
Gregory Boyd, he's the manager of the Harold Melvin's Blue Notes. Great job in managing those guys.
Okay.
Well, Carlos said something
Gabriel,
about the Uptown.
Gabriel,
They,
Guiding
they're
Lights.
fixing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They finally they've decided to
Awesome
bring back
interview,
that
guys.
historical
That's
landmark, which is good.
Reggie Gabe said, "What's up?"
Outstanding.
Super gay.
Carlos, Reggie again. Carlos, Reggie. Okay, and Renee, you will be around the corner for me at 56 and Cedar. Okay. See, Carlos got a
Carlos is-
history.
Yeah, he remembers all kinds
Yeah,
of
he
stuff.
remembers everything. Carlos
Yes,
does
he
not
does.
forget anything. In fact, Carlos has his own radio show. I don't know too much
It's
about
right
it yet.
here.
Right here.
Oh, okay.
So let's talk about
Well, I'll be.
Hey, Carlos, no, we're getting ready to give you a shout for your radio
Yeah,
show.
right.
Carlos does Talents of Philadelphia. It's called
Right.
Top, and
Okay.
on Talents of Philadelphia, we play all the songs from Philadelphia, all the entertainers and artists from Philadelphia.
Okay.
That program, that show is geared towards them. He hosts the show from 7 to 9.
Okay.
7 to 9. It's 2 hours,
Okay.
right?
Right.
And then he comes back on from 9 to 10,
Wow.
and he does Let's Go Back. And that's actually his show.
Wow.
Okay.
And it's done on Philly Live Radio.
Yeah.
Our radio.
It's our
Yes,
radio.
That's
And
And a
wonderful.
shout out to Philly Live Radio because entertainers and you guys, we play your music
Yes.
on Top, on Talents of Philadelphia. And we want you to listen because your music is being played
Yes.
and you don't even know it's being played.
Right,
So
right.
we want you to take
That's
time
right.
and listen.
Tune in.
Tune in on
Ask Tony
Tuesday.
Jones.
Yeah, on
Ask
Tuesday.
Robert Gilmore.
Robert Gilmore.
Yeah.
Right.
Bass-
Right.
Okay.
Hell of a bass player.
Okay, so that
Have you ever heard of a group called Real Men?
you told me about it.
Right. That's that's the new venture
group.
that I've taken on.
Okay.
And these guys, they've been around for
40 years.
no 50.
50
They
years,
start out. They started out the same time we did because we were all kids together.
Right.
And we used to intertwine and teach each other different runs and stuff like that. Well, back then they called themselves the Coalitions. Then they went into they matriculated to the name Old Heads.
The old heads.
And now they call themselves Real Men. Fantastic.
And they still
group.
performing.
They still
Still
performing.
performing.
Yes.
And they are
Yes.
entertainers personified.
Right.
You know, I mean, they walk the tables in the different venues that they perform at, and they're just good. I'm honored to be part of them. I sing. My main voice is the first tenor. That's the one I really love the most. And as a result, they had a nice spot for me. You know,
How many
five,
artists?
it's a
Five of them?
five-man group. You know,
With the band.
With the
right
band?
with the band, and they have over 250 songs in their repertoire. They've been together that long, and they reach back any given time and just pull those songs out and
What
put on
genre
shows.
do they sing?
R&B, you
R&B.
know, R&B, yeah,
And
R&B,
Baby Babies and
but yet
They
I
do-
wouldn't say just oldies.
They do new
They
stuff.
even do new R&B. You know, we do
Okay.
We do a lot of
What's
songs that are out now. You know,
Okay.
some of Usher's stuff and
Okay.
groups like that.
Okay, now let's go into your professional history.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about
Okay,
that.
I was started off with the Department of Public Welfare in '71, and I just got married. I was married before. Isabel is my second wife, but I was married for a 6-year period. And I started off as a caseworker, field caseworker in South Philadelphia, and then in '73 I was asked to be promoted. Did I want a promotion? Of course I wanted a promotion. And in '73 I became a casework supervisor, and I did various assignments, whether I was supervising caseworkers who went out in the field, or whether I was supervising an intake department when people will come into the office to apply, or whether I was supervising an employment training unit, people who were active but had to register for this training program. So I supervised those for about 11 years, various phases, and then I was asked that I want to become a deputy manager at another office, and so of course I took that job, and it was a 9-month assignment. But after the 9 months, I was able to apply for it, and I liked that job, leading people, leading supervisors. I was actually supervising various supervisors in a welfare office, whether it was application supervisors or ongoing or employment training or even SSIs, like disabled units. So I supervised those units, and from '84 to '90, and then I put my bid in. There was an opening, and I was interviewed, and I got the promotion to be a district administrator in '90, and I ran 3 offices from '90 to 2006 when I retired. See, when you get these offices, you know, you stay there for like maybe 3 to 5 years, and then they move you around because they don't want you to get to know your staff, too comfortable with your staff. But I had great staff everywhere I went, and because I believe that leadership starts at the top, and the way you treat your staff is the way they're going to treat the community. So I believe that and we were, each year we were given report cards, and so like the first district I went to, which was Delancey district, this area, it was the worst district. 19 out of 19.
That's not on Delancey Street. That's here. That's
It's
right
here.
on
It's right here. It's just over on, now it's
Market
on
Street,
Market
right?
Street now.
Yeah.
Yes, around.
Okay.
But then it was at 4415
Chestnut.
Chestnut Street. It was there. That's where I was assigned at, and it was a bad district. And so, but in 9 months, it went from 19 to 10. You know, of course I was
Rating.
promoted rating,
Right.
and I was promoted, and they sent me to Tioga up in North Philadelphia. So I knew I had an impact because I brought a plan called Balancing Consequences. If you did your job, I would give you some type of some type of acknowledgement, a star on something. But if you didn't make the goal, then you got discipline, reprimands.
Right.
So first month, 3 stars, 28 reprimands. By the time 9 months came around, 28 stars, 2 reprimands. So,
Okay.
and I would walk the floor, and I hear the people talk about, I'm getting my star.
Okay.
I'm getting my, so that was a motivator.
Motivator.
Sure.
That was a
Motivation.
motivator.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to Delancey. And then I went to Tioga. I was under a very competent administrator, and she taught me well. And so when she got her raise to become a director of operations at the state building, she recommended me among 3 other assistants to take her place. So it was an acting position, which I did for 2 years, and then I applied for the job. I acted out from '88 to '90, and then I was promoted to that job in 1990. And so I've always looked back as an administrator, looking at the best people who I can,
Yes. Yes.
especially Black women, because at that time, Black women were not given the proper opportunities. But I said, listen, it is not like the brothers weren't qualified, but there wasn't that many brothers. So it was Black women, empowering Black women, and many of them went on to become administrators themselves. So
Great.
that was a very rewarding career. My wife planned my retirement. There was an overflow. We couldn't even fit the people in there.
Ran out of chairs.
Ran out of chairs, just everything. You know,
Right,
Reggie,
right.
he brought his daughters. They sang, and we sang, and my band sang. In fact, some of the musicians that I started off with in the '70s, early '70s, came back, and just to see them sitting there,
Oh,
you know,
that's
you know,
great.
here it is.
That's
It's 45 years later. You know,
That's great.
Yeah.
you know, and some
Major.
of them went on. Ishmael Wilburn went on. The
Okay.
true drummer, he went to Weather Report. Greg Hill went to
Billy Paul, I think.
Billy Paul. Yeah, Billy Paul. You know, you know, they all went on to become, but they all came back for the retirement. It was very good.
That's good.
And then-
Okay.
okay.
Okay, so that was a exciting part of your life, and that was good. You helped a lot of people there
Yes.
too.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
You helped a lot of
Absolutely. Helped a
people.
lot of people. Especially, you know, the clients that we service.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it was about. And then internally developing the staff, developing staff, and dealing with the unions each month.
Yeah.
Unions have to win. They have to win. And so I recognize that. So whenever there's an opportunity for me to allow the union to win a grievance or to win something, that's what happened, you know. So, and then also all the auditors. We had a bunch of audit groups, ABC audit groups, that always come in and audit the records to make sure that there's no fraud and all of that. We have the auditor generals, the inspector generals, Division of Corrective Action, Food Nutrition Services, and on and on. Just a lot of auditing
Okay.
groups. So,
Well, Gilbert has given me the 5 minutes, so I
okay,
got it.
okay,
I
yes.
got it. Do you have? But one thing I want to say about that like they're transferable skills, because what you put on that job,
Right.
you enable you to help better and organize your music.
Music, absolutely.
You know, I mean,
yes,
so I'm
yes,
saying
that's right.
it just helps.
It helps. It
You
helps.
know?
You're being organized,
Yeah.
being prompt. You
Yeah.
know, being you know just
Transferable skills.
transferable skills. Yes, yes,
Do you have any upcoming events or performances?
yes.
Okay.
I think I talked about one.
We
but
talked about one.
yeah, I just got to write some of this stuff down. So we talked about April 30th, and we're going to be in Glen Burnie, Maryland, at the La Quinta Inn and Suites. The show starts at 6:30. Doors open 4:30. April 5th, the Guiding Lights will be performing at Canstatter's Banquet Facility, 9120 Academy Road. Doors open at 7, showtime 8 p.m. This is Grown Folks Entertainment presenting Old School Red Carpet Praise Party Season Opener. Aaron Cisco is the producer of this event. Tickets are $50, but the event is sold out. So April 5th at Canstatter's is sold out. April 14th, the Guiding Lights will be at the 4700 Woodland Avenue Baptist Church at 47th and Woodland
Okay.
on Sunday the 14th. Saturday, May 11th, Phillies Intruders Pre-Mother's Day Dance and Show at the Dorchester Elks Lodge. That's going to be at 618 Pine Street in Cambridge, Maryland. Doors open at 5 p.m., showtime 6 p.m. And June 15th, Phillies Intruders will be doing a pre-Father's Day dinner and show at the Sanitarium Hall, 101 Ashmead Road in Cheltenham, Pennsylvania. Tickets are $45, and it's being sponsored by AMJ Entertainment, Andrea Jackson, and Mike Piper of One Soul, the band. Just some of the upcoming things.
That's
that
good.
we're
And
doing.
I want to say, I'm trying to remember, March 30th, we have Breakwater and Instant Funk at Ardmore Music Hall. Tickets are, you can get tickets from www.ticketfly.com. The show starts at, the doors open at 7:30. The show starts at 8. And can you imagine Breakwater and Instant Funk on the same show?
Wow.
It's going to be a blast. So that's this Saturday, March 30th. I also want to say thank you to all my Facebook fans and friends for joining us today. Thank you to the producer, Gilbert Lomax. Thank you to all the sponsors, Butch Ingram, Nina Capone, Ellie Humans and Yasmin McCord, thank you. Follow me on Facebook, like my YouTube channel, check me out on Instagram, and check out my webpage. I want to say thank you to all of you for joining us tonight or this evening. And our guest for next week is going to be John Fitch. And John is the co-writer of Evelyn Champagne's mega seller, Shane. Okay? And he'll be here, him and T Life. So, T, let me say hi to T Life. Hi, T. So, John will be here next Thursday. So please join us on the Indie Show. And have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Amen.